Oh, I didn't see you there. Hello, patrons of my tavern. I am the prideful innkeeper, and today I'm glad you were able to catch up with me. This is the perfect location for what I would like to tell you about. Who and what, you may ask? Well, of course, the Warlock. So sit back and relax, grab an ale, and listen to my tale, and let us go down this dark trail. Long ago, the Titan Sargeras fell to madness and fell off the quest of the Pantheon. His physical and mental form was ripped apart, and he was turned into the Dark Titan. He opened the prison of the demons, and the Dark Titan went from planet to planet and created chaos, unraveling the work of the Pantheon. Sargeras wanted to recruit more and more into his ranks, and so he went to the planet of Arcus, home of the intelligible race, the Eredar. The Eredar were led by Kil'jaeden, Archimonde, and Velen. These three were tremendous leaders, and the offer Sargeras gave them was past tempting. Two of the three leaders agreed with Sargeras. The Eredar people who accepted the Titan's gift were morphed into demons and became the Legion. One of the leaders, Velen, took those who didn't want this curse and fled from planet to planet, being chased by Kil'jaeden, now also known as the Deceiver. The name Eredar meant nothing to Velen anymore, and he changed their name to Draenei, meaning exiled one in the Eredar tongue, and they crashed on the world of Draenei. For thousands of years, the Orcs and the Draenei races lived in peace, until Kil'jaeden, the Deceiver, tricked Ner'zhul by disguising himself as Ner'zhul's wife, Rokhan, saying that the Draenei were evil and planned on killing the Orc clans. Ner'zhul, being the head shaman, called a forced meeting of the clans. It was uncommon for this to happen, and it was only common for once a year the clans to meet at Korshard. But the clans met up, and Ner'zhul told them all what was happening, and the orcs slowly faded away from the trust of the Draenei. Many did and didn't believe Ner'zhul, but in the end they would all come together to form the Horde. They would raid Draenei caravans at first, and after caravans, towns, and after towns, entire capital cities. During one of the battles, the orcs lost their ability to commune with the elements, and that made them fade away from this cause, thinking that this mass genocide was wrong. But Gul'dan had reassured all the orcs that this was part of the Beautiful One's plan. Gul'dan then asked the now revealed Kil'jaeden what they should do. Kil'jaeden granted Gul'dan the powers of the Warlock. Gul'dan was then allowed to train 4 other shamans in this dark gift. He went to Chieftain Blackhand and asked for his 4 most loyal and promising shamans to choose for this new power. Blackhand chose, and they demonstrated their powers. They were taught the ways of the Warlock. Other shamans found this intriguing and wanted to learn. They then were granted the abilities to summon demons to inflict pain upon their enemies and burn them mercilessly. The demons killed non-stop, always needing to slaughter more and more. They killed mercilessly, and they couldn't stop. Gul'dan thought he was blessed when the Pit Lord Manaroth visited him and spilt his blood for the orcs to drink. Gul'dan was the first, and his vision turned red with rage, and his skin slowly turned from its dark shade of brown to a dark shade of green. He felt the demon's fire coursing through his veins. Many a day later, the clans met atop the mountains, where Gul'dan had a pool of demon's blood for the orcs to drink. The first to drink was the mighty Hellscream himself. The honorable chieftain Durotan describes the events in the book, Rise of the Horde. Gul'dan barely had time to take the chalice from Grom before the other orcs stiffened and shuddered. He doubled over for a moment, and the crowd murmured in worry. Durotan stared, horrified, as Grom hunched over, pulsated, and quivered. Before his eyes, Grom's shoulders slender for an orc's broadness. His armor creaked as it settled over his newly powerful body. Slowly Grom straightened. Tall as ever, he had been reshaped by the green liquid to be stronger, thickly muscled, and he looked over the crowd. When Durotan could see his face, it was smooth and healthy, and save for the tattooed jaw, his body was completely green. Many orcs would drink the blood and assault the temple of Karavor with their newfound powers, and not only destroyed the Draenei, but slaughtered them all. The orcs now ruled Draenei with an iron fist, but nothing was left of the Draenei or the resources of this world. The orcs slowly started to attack each other, and Kil'jaeden left Gul'dan, thinking they had completed their mission. The orcs were getting restless, and the demon blood ran deep in them, and they were bloodthirsty, and Gul'dan couldn't provide anything until he made contact with the prophet, also demon-possessed Medivh. Medivh showed him the ripe world of Azeroth ready for the orcish hord's taking, and Gul'dan quickly made the dark portal. After the completion of the dark portal, Medivh and Gul'dan worked together to open the portal, and when the portal was open, the orcs brought their might and the powers of the warlock into this world. Though Azeroth had some form of warlock magic, the orcs brought the rest and the true practice of this dark art.
Affliction. The Affliction Warlock is a master of shadow magic who specializes in draining and doing damage over time spells to their enemies. These warlocks can also be classified in a section of necromancy. They usually torture their enemies and make sure they suffer before they die. Demonology. The Demonology Warlock is the master of demonic magic and can transform into a demon and command demonic forces and powers to aid him or her in combat. Like warlocks, they call upon fell energies more than any other warlock specialization. Destruction. The Destruction Warlock is the master of chaos and calls down fire to burn and demolish their enemies into nothing but dust. Like the mage, they use fire magic, but their fire brings nothing but chaos and doom, and has specific fell energies to it.
And that ends the tale of the Warlock. They are truly sinister and plague our world with their fell magics. I thank you for joining me today, patrons of my tavern. So have an L on me, and I'll see you soon.